Hi everybody, today I'm going to show you how to replace a floppy drive. The reason why I want to replace the floppy drive inside this Mac is when I turn it on, we hear the sound of death, as it's called on the internet. So the Mac appears to be working fine. The motherboard should be fine as well, but the floppy drive is not. So I'm going to dismantle it and take out the floppy drive. Now I've already taken the back case off, like I've shown you in my first video. In case you want to see how this works, just go to episode 1. So what we're going to do first, as a safety measure, is we're going to discharge the CRT screen, because it stores electricity, voltage, and we want to get it out in order to make sure that we don't electrify ourselves. For that, I have a simple screwdriver with a wire. I just attached it with some tape. It's very basic, you should have it at home. And I am going to just loosen up this screw a little bit, because this is the ground wire for the screen already, and we are going to use it as ground wire for this discharge tool. So as you see, it's attached, and now I'm going to smoothly get the screwdriver below the anode cap. And we should see a spark, or maybe even hear something. No, nothing. You don't see it every time, but just play around a little bit with the contact in order to make sure that there is no electricity left. Now, I'm not going to remove it now because we can leave the screen in place, but as a safety measure, you should always do that when you work on the insides of a Macintosh Plus. Now, in order to get the floppy drive out, we need to first disconnect the floppy cable from the motherboard. That's very easy. Then we disconnect the power from the motherboard, because we actually have to take the motherboard itself out, because otherwise we cannot reach the screws that are holding the floppy drive case. So just going to pull this out. Okay, in case you've never seen it before, this is the Macintosh Plus motherboard, or logic board as it's called. Now below here there are 4 screws, and we have to take out those. Once we have done that, we basically can take out the floppy drive. Here it is, including the case. And that's how you dismantle the floppy drive. Now you can easily replace it if you have a new one, or try to repair this one. I also want to show you how to take it out of its case. Basically, it's again only 4 screws that are around here on the sides. And that's it. There you have it. This is the floppy drive. And the part that's probably broken is this motor that moves the sensor back and forth. So this keeps rotating, and that's how this clicking comes to be. I will try to repair this in a different video, but knowing that floppy drives are a longer process, I will just show you for now how to replace it if you take, for instance, the floppy drive out of an external case. Here we have an external floppy drive. It's the, just to show you, the Apple 3.5-inch drive. I think these have been built around 1986, just like the Mac. And we're going to open up this case. Again, just loosening 4 screws below here. And that's it. Now we can take this up. Careful. Alright, so the bottom part is gone. And this part here, actually you don't want to break the plastics, but just move it a bit forward. And then you can take it easily off. Just be careful because there are still some wires attached. These go to the indicator light and the eject button. In order to reach the drive that's actually inside here, we have to open up this screw here. And then you can see inside the mechanism. Now we have to remove the cable. That's basically the only thing holding the drive back. Get in here. Ah, yeah, there it is. So it's been disattached. And again, just like with the internal drive, there are 4 screws which are holding the floppy drive in place. Okay, so just pull it out now. And that's about it. Just to remove the shield. And again, we have a floppy drive. This one appears to have a metal plate missing here, but we're just gonna attach the one from the broken drive up here. And in order to insert it back into the Macintosh Plus, you just do everything we've done now in reverse. Now, something you might want to do when you have removed the floppy drive, even though it's working, is giving it a bit of maintenance. So I will not tamper too much with this one because I know it's working well. However, I realized that when I insert the floppies, they very often get, well, stuck while inserting them. And I'm going to activate the insert mechanism. And you see it's going down rather slowly. Just going to repeat that. So it's taking a while to close down, which means it probably needs some lubrication in order to work smoothly. And this is what I am going to show you. So we'll start by removing these springs on either side. Very carefully, because you don't want to break anything. Okay. And then basically, first we need to remove this little black plate here. Ah, come on. Okay. So, okay. And now we can play around a bit and just take this part off. So it's probably this part here it does not move as smoothly as it should. So I'm going to remove these 4 little plastic plates. Now, there we go. So now I can easily, no, we cannot, because the plate is still held back by the eject mechanism, but we should just open up this screw here and then maybe loosening up the one in the back as well. And just lift it up a bit in order to get this part out. So now there should be lubrication, but there is not. So this has been dried out over the years, and basically what I'm using here is just a multifunctional grease, which is basic. You can get it in every tooling store. And I'm just going to check once more where exactly I need to be lubricating. So we should be lubricating below here and around these 4 dots where the plastic cover goes. So I'm just gonna apply. Now, of course, inside the floppy drives there is a lot more cleaning you could do, but like I said, I rather not touch something that's working well, especially if it's something that delicate. Floppy drives are always a bit of a problematic issue. So we're going to insert this, and yeah, it moves a lot better than before. Okay, and what we do now is we're just going to do it backwards. Oh, come on. Perfect. So now we put back this plate. Okay. And there we have it. Okay. And now we need to reattach these little springs. That's what I just forgot. And yep. Now it works smoothly. And that's basically how you do maintenance on a floppy drive.